Hello YouTube, this is the Magnum94 here, and for those of you who somehow haven't found out already, The Legend of Zelda Wii U, there's a chance of it being delayed. Now, when Aonuma gave the announcement, all he said was that he's apologizing for the fact that the game is so ambitious, there's so much stuff that he wants to put in, that he's not making the 2015 deadline a priority for this game. Which is completely understandable. Like, would I like the game to be in 2015? Of course. But I'd rather it not be a broken piece of crap like half the games that came out last year. It's completely understandable if the Zelda game gets delayed. And plus, Zelda is not any kind of... not any stranger to being delayed. Like, I think every single mainline console Zelda game has been delayed. So, it's completely understandable. But of course, like when Nintendo does literally anything, the internet literally exploded, and stupid articles were everywhere within the hour. And the worst one that I found was this. Could Zelda Wii U delay make the game a NX launch title? Okay, let's get started. It's no secret that the Wii U hasn't been as successful as Nintendo hoped. That is true. With over 10 million units sold, the console is no slouch, but it is trailing behind both the Xbox One and PS4 significantly. 2015 is primed to be a big year for the console, with Splatoon, Star Fox, and Xenoblade Chronicles X all set for release. But the console has just lost what could be its biggest title ever, Zelda Wii U, for the year. On the other hand, Nintendo has just days ago revealed that they're working on an entirely new console dubbed NX. With the game slipping into at least 2016 and the NX just around the corner, it begs the question on whether or not this delay will make Zelda Wii U become Zelda NX. I'm going to stop you right there. There are so many things wrong with this article. Now, I understand that Nintendo announcing the NX, the internet exploded for that too, but the only reason they announced the NX at the time they did was to keep people at bay from assuming that they're just gonna do mobile games. Nintendo didn't have to announce that the NX is a thing yet, but they pretty much felt like Iwata pretty much felt like if they don't announce it now, then people are just going to assume that after the 3DS and after the Wii U, they're just going to be making mobile games. So, the NX being just around the corner, there's a list of things wrong with this sentence. First of all, we know literally nothing about the NX. The only thing we do know are that it might be at next year's E3, and that it's the next Nintendo hardware. We don't know whether it'll be the handheld. We don't know if it'll be the console. We don't know if it'll be the hybrid. If it is the console, we don't know what kind of controller it'll have. If it's the handheld, we don't know what new features it'll boast. We don't know when it'll come out. Nintendo hardly ever announces a system in 1 year and then releases it later that year. They hardly ever do that. I know for the Wii U, they announced in 2011 and then it came out 2012. For the Wii, 2005 came out 2006. Or maybe even earlier than that. But they never, ever reveal a system, especially this early, and then reveal it, and then release it later that year. So, no, I do not think that the NX is coming out in 2016. 2, they are not going to have Zelda Wii U, like you said earlier, the biggest title for the Wii U, be a NX launch title. They're not just going to skip over the Wii U. Nintendo would be the dumbest people ever to not launch a Zelda game on their failing console, and failing in quotations, because is it not selling as well as the others? Yes. But is it technically failing? No. It's making money for Nintendo, so it's not technically failing. So, okay, let's just go on. And the funny thing is, actually, a lot of the things I just said, he actually mentions later on in the article. So it's almost like he was saying, "Oh, I wrote the first 4 paragraphs of this article. Oh wait, I just thought of this. I need to cover my butt in case this doesn't happen." Okay, let's just go on now. Legend of Zelda Wii U has been in development since at least January 2013, when Aonuma first announced the game. In that time, details have been scarce, with the first footage not even being released until E3 2014, a year and a half after its initial reveal. Nintendo was again silent until December of last year, with a few more minutes of footage was shown off, and it was revealed the game would be released in 2015. It was revealed it would be released in 2015 at the end of the E3 2014 trailer. Just saying. Many question whether or not this would be possible since so little had been shown off, and given that we've gone another 4 months without any updates, it makes sense that the game has slipped into at least 2016. Why do you keep saying at least 2016? They are working their butts off. They were working their butts off just to get it, just try to get it 2015. I see that the Zelda Wii U will release. I'm thinking like it'll probably take the Mario Kart title of last year, like the May slot. If it does go all the way to November, then that's fine. Like, releasing your big game around November is okay. But it will not, I repeat, it will not go anywhere near 2017. November 2016 at the latest. But with it seemingly still being in the relatively early stages, it begs the question if it will take long enough to finish that another console will be out when it is. Nintendo's NX was revealed the night the company announced a partnership with SNA to produce mobile titles. Details so far on the NX are scarce. Exactly. So why is this article being made? Whatever. What we know is that it will be an entirely new game platform concept. Iwata has recently hinted that the NX will not simply be an expansion of the Wii U, and thought had gone into making a whole new gaming experience. It's unclear at this stage when the NX will be released. Exactly. But it's likely that we'll see it far before the end of this console generation. By console generation, do you mean before the Xbox One and PS4 are done? You could have made that more clear. Because the Wii U is technically part of this generation. With the Wii U launching in late 2016, a late 2016 for NX would seem reasonable enough that Nintendo might attempt it. No, it wouldn't. The Wii U is not the console that Nintendo needs to only have a 4-year lifespan. That would be nearing Sega with the Saturn and Dreamcast levels. See, people are already upset that Nintendo announced that the NX is even happening. If they released the console in 2016, the fans would just would tirade. It would not be good. And at the end of 2016, Nintendo would be lucky to have sold 20 million Wii U's. So I don't think Nintendo would be happy with that number. Plus, only 4 years for a console? The only console that has done that hasn't been a Sega console was the Xbox, with the original Xbox. And the 360 was launched early as it was. So, I honestly think the absolute earliest that Nintendo has to release the system is 2017. The absolute earliest in 2017. If that did indeed occur, it would line up perfectly when The Legend of Zelda Wii U will be completed. That is, you're assuming it'll be late 2016 that Zelda Wii U is being released. Nintendo almost always releases their banner titles in the second half of the year, so it seems unlikely at this point that Zelda will be released in the first portion of 2016. That is, for the most part, true. But last year, Mario Kart and Donkey Kong both came out in the first half of 2014. Majora's Mask, don't hold me to this, but I think it was either Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time were both released in the States in March of 2098 respectively. So Nintendo was no stranger to releasing big titles early in the year. Mario Kart is arguably their biggest franchise. I said arguably. So releasing that early on, I would say that Mario Kart has definitely sold more than Zelda. So it's a much bigger franchise. So I don't think it would be unreasonable for Nintendo to drop it like the April or May slot. I mean, they released Majora's Mask 3D at that time. I know it's not as big of a game as the remake, but still. I don't think it's out of the question for Nintendo to release Zelda Wii U early in the year. If the NX and Zelda are indeed ready by the end of 2016, which I already said that the NX will not be released in 2016, I guarantee it. The NX will not be released in 2016. I guarantee it. It seems impossible that Nintendo wouldn't release the game as a launch title for the NX. Not only would it take advantage of the newest hardware, but it would also surely move millions of consoles. I'm just going. At the very least, to avoid alienating consumers, Nintendo could pull a move similar to when the Twilight Princess was released as both one of the last GameCube games and a Wii U launch title, taking advantage of all features the latter had to offer. It was a Wii launch title, but I can understand the confusion when you're just typing, when you're just going train of thought typing. I can understand how you put the EU there. But here's the difference between Twilight Princess being both on GameCube and Wii, and Zelda, which might be on the Wii U and whatever the NX is. The Wii was essentially just two GameCubes put together and put into a box. That's all the Wii was. It was basically just a more powerful GameCube. Had the exact same infrastructure and everything. So porting a game from the GameCube to Wii took almost no effort at all. It made perfect sense to release Twilight Princess as a launch title for the Wii because all they had to do was just tweak it a little bit, add in motion controls, and then boom, it's on the Wii. It took literally no effort at all. But I'm going to assume that the NX is going to have a very, very different infrastructure than the Wii U. They're going to try to pack as much power as they possibly can so that they can compete with Sony and Microsoft next generation. The Wii U is very underpowered compared to the PS4 and well, technically underpowered compared to the Xbox One and 360 and PS4. So going from the Wii U, which is lower powered than the Xbox One, to the NX, which I guarantee will be even more powerful than the PS4, I don't think it'll be way too hard to make Zelda Wii U on the NX as well. They would probably have to remake the game from the ground up, essentially. So, comparing it to Twilight Princess, I'm not saying that it's a dumb mindset, but it's impractical at best. Of course, there is the chance that NX is far from completion to the point that Zelda would have to sit around unreleased for months or even years to make it launch title for the platform. Exactly. That scenario would mean it unlikely to be released for NX, but it could still be a remaster release down the line at the very least. Whatever ends up happening, one of these things for sure. Nintendo has a crucial decision on their hands. See, this last paragraph right here, it's like he realized that what he said up here makes kind of no sense, and is like, oh wait, what I said made no sense. Let me just put this paragraph in here so that I can cover my butt in case this actually doesn't happen. And what is with this last sentence right here? Whatever ends up happening, one thing for sure, Nintendo has a crucial decision on their hands. What exactly are you trying to say? The Zelda Wii U will be released when it's ready. That's what Nintendo does. I mean, if they for some reason can't get the game out in 2016, they're not going to try to shoehorn it onto the next system. And just this entire article, it makes sense from a conceptual sense. Like having Zelda be delayed, just a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, it might be an NX launch title. They already announced it. It's gonna be revealed next year. It might come out next year. It's possible, but people really need, whenever Nintendo or any new information, whenever Nintendo announces new information or when any information period comes out, people need to wait at least an hour so that we can get all of the information out and you can get your mind like fully acclimated to the information so that you don't write dumb articles like this. Now, like I said, this isn't that bad of an article per se. Like, it all makes perfect sense if you just take at it from a knee-jerk reaction standpoint. But the fact that he basically contradicts himself twice in this article, and he basically just realizes what he said doesn't exactly make sense in this paragraph here. I just don't understand really the point in making this article. I understand the point because this is a prime example of just having an article that is nothing but knee-jerk reaction and then having a clickbait title just so you can get views. So if you have any opinions on what you think, on when you think Zelda will be released, or what you think even the NX is gonna be, leave your comments down below. It's Magnum 924 signing out.